Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here back with more Let's Play Shining Force Resurrection of the Dark Dragon on the Game Boy Advance. And we are still in this fight. I mean, where did you think we were going to be? That's what I want to know. That is exactly what I want to know. Alright, so we've got strength, we got sleep and attack. Sadly, it's only attack level 1, but you know, why not? We don't get to play with this sort of stuff. But the magic had no effect. But hey, he got 10 XP for it, and it's not like he's going to be doing anything else. So yeah, this fight, barring his sin. So we're going to talk about something else. Because, I mean, what else are we... what are we going to do? We're going to talk about snacks and food and such. I've been on a food kick lately. So what brought this kick on is my trip to Chicago. I went to Chicago. We visited my aunt and uncle and my wife's best friend. And you know, it was a fantastic trip. I loved it. The only day we actually went into the city, it poured rain, so that kind of sucked a little bit. But I did manage to go to a game store, which I'll talk about in a little bit. First, the topic that I wanted to discuss before, food. So my aunt and uncle have introduced me to a delicious food, a delicious set of foods. My aunt is native Chicagoan. I don't know what their local term would be for a local. But she, the first time I met her, because I have to say she's, my uncle remarried, and after meeting her, we met her after, well, we met her before they got married, but anyway, she wasn't the aunt that was there when I was born, but she's family, so, you know, it's fantastic. Anyway, the first time she came to a family reunion, she brought this cheese with her. It's, Schmortz cheese. And pronouncing that may be weird, because my uncle pronounces differently than it's spelled. But, you know, that's often how life works. But it is literally the most delicious cheese on the planet. It makes me happy. And we brought a bunch of it back for mostly my parents. My aunt gave us 3 of the, I think it's a 1-pound blocks, and only 2 of the 1-pound blocks made it to my parents. The third one ended up in a lasagna that we had for dinner the night prior. And I love this cheese. I do. It's like mozzarella, but slightly saltier, and which means I instantly like it because I put like a half a pound of salt on anything and everything that I do. Much to my wife's dismay, she thinks I'm gonna die at the age of 30 from a heart attack. But this may happen. We don't know. And I'm doing this on Max because Max seems to be kind of stuck. Like, he's not doing anything. Kind of sucks. Xylo can handle himself over there. I'm not terribly worried about it. But, so this cheese is awesome. In addition to that, they also gave us some spicy Italian salami, which also meant for my parents. But my parents are out of town, so my parents are like, hey, we're not going to be able to eat it. We don't want it to go bad, so if you want it, it's yours. And so now it's sitting in my fridge, and it's delicious, but it's almost too spicy to eat, which is both amazing and terrifying at the same time. Alright, we're just gonna freeze 1. This is where this battle's gonna kind of suck, because this is literally like the worst choke point ever conceived. Anyway, so that's the food kick that I've been on. Like, my wife made lasagna with this cheese. I've been eating it for the last 2 days because we just made so much of it. And I regret nothing. I regret nothing. It is the most delicious food ever. But I was thinking about this last night. It's like, you know, food is one of those things that Let's Players don't really get to talk a lot about. But it's something we all have to do. We all have to eat. So why is this such a foreign concept for all of us? Is my question on it. So let's talk about food. What kind of foods do people like? I am personally a big fan of meat. Yes, that's giggity. No, like I like chicken. I like beef. Bison is also ridiculously tasty. There's a Ted's Bison Buffalo restaurant near our house that I could spend a small fortune at. I'm not one for vegetables. I don't really like salads are alright, but I typically drown them in dressing. Mostly ranch. I'm also a fan of Caesar. But, yeah. That's basically any sort of meat dish I will at least try once. A good friend of mine, I don't know if I've actually had him on any of my projects. For his birthday, he had what was called Meat Fest, and him and his dad would cook out, and we would make as much as many different grilled meat products as possible. Bratwurst, kielbasa. Kielbasa was one of the best, because that was the first time I ever had kielbasa, and I have to say, that was a delicious experience. And now we've hit the choke point, so it's going to take us forever to get in here. But that's what we did. There was very little I mean, there were like potatoes. It was very much meat and potatoes kind of thing, but most of the potatoes were of an interesting variety of like garlic sautéed potatoes, I think is what it was. It was delicious. It was delicious. That's all it was. And the damn choke point. I just kind of wonder why no one really talks about food. So, yeah. Burgers. Burgers are a big thing for me. I like burgers. Specifically with bacon. They have to have bacon and cheese, otherwise they're not really a burger. They're a sham. They are a shell of their former self, and I want nothing to do with them. And it won't do anything to the priest, but it'll deal with the gargoyle for at least a little bit. And another thing on the food topic is snacks. I've been snacking a lot. One of the things on the trip to Chicago, we picked up snacks for the way there. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, you know, you need snacks for a long car trip, because we drove. We drove like 14 hours to Chicago. And I found, I'd known that they'd made it, but I found one of the larger bags of Starburst Flavor Reds. It's all the red flavors, so it's the cherry, the strawberry, it also has watermelon and fruit punch. And while I'm not a fan of watermelon, the fruit punch is not bad. But the problem with it is I've eaten so much of them, I've gotten sick of Starburst. Because, so, I don't know too many people. I know there are people out there that are fans of all the flavors of Starburst, but none of my friends are. Everyone either they hate the lime, or they hate the lemon, or they hate the orange, or I know people who hate the cherry. Say it tastes too much like medicine, that sort of thing. So you know, and now that I've said that, I've probably ruined cherry Starburst for a bunch of you. I'm sorry. I don't think it tastes like it. I mean, it tastes like artificial cherry, but I find it to be delicious. But I don't really... I don't really eat that many Starbursts, and that's part of the problem. Is that if you're not used to eating that many Starbursts, then it causes a problem of when you do go to eat that many Starbursts. So like I got this entire bag full of Starbursts, and while it's delicious, there's so many more that I'm eating. Because if you take like a normal bag, minus, like I don't eat the orange, I don't eat the lemon, I basically just eat... Oh, you can attack from a distance too? Oh, you're such a dick! Okay. And you have a spell. That's fantastic. Thank you. I'm waiting to use Aura on my force. I'm not gonna get to use the attack boost spell like I should, but... so... I've eaten so many Starbursts, like I've literally kind of gotten burned out on them. Because you're just not used to eating that many of them, because on an average bag, you know, half of them you're not gonna eat. And that's if they're all evenly done. Which they never are. Ever. So, and here's a bag that's, you know, at least 3/4 of the bag are these delicious candies that are both solid but juicy like a liquid. I have to say, those commercials have really freaked me out with the Korean Scotsman guy. Yeah, I have no response to that. I have no recourse when I see those, other than the hell did I just watch? And why did I watch it? Alright. That's a mage. We don't want to bunch everyone too close together. We are going to heal Hans, because he took some damage. But like earlier in the summer, we went to a barbecue festival here in North Carolina, and it's it's called Barbecue Fest. It's the regional qualifier for barbecue competitions. And I think it's the regional qualifier, and then it moves over to Tennessee for the national, I think. I'm not entirely sure. We don't really follow it once it leaves our area, because we eat a ridiculous amount of barbecue, and then we pass out for a day. Alright, we want to just go straight down that way. Okay. Like, which way do I want to go? We want to go this way. And that, when we were there, we were camping out because it's held kind of in the boonies of North Carolina. And we go camping, and while we're camping, we brought a bunch of stuff for s'mores. I mean, everyone who was we went with a bunch of people, so everyone who's there also brought food for, you know, cooking out, grilling, all sorts of delicious food. And the thing we brought stuff for s'mores. So we brought, you know, like several bags of marshmallows, because we knew there were going to be a bunch of people there. we also brought, like, a box of 30 Hershey bars. So we were eating s'mores forever, but that's one thing that I've noticed is not really as I want to say not really as popular, but it is. Because, I mean, there's entire devices made for, you know, making s'mores. And we're gonna shoot you out of the sky is what we're gonna do, because I don't like you over there. And then we're gonna end you. Or not, because I apparently can't hit a damn thing. Thank you. I need to get some attacks in with Max. He needs to do some damage. So he's gonna kill a Master Mage. But yeah, I noticed we did s'mores, but it would have been one of those things that doesn't look like it would have, you know, occurred to a lot of people to do s'mores. And that kind of saddens me because I love s'mores. And Gort levels up, which is great. He's been falling really far behind. We need to fix that. Poor Musashi as well is gonna be well behind as well. I can power level them if necessary. But I just talk about food. I mean, we're sitting here killing things that it doesn't really matter what we're killing, because they're all pointless and useless, and they're just aggravating, is what they are. But food, I kind of want to know what do you guys like to eat? What do you guys what do you do with food? What are your Alright, we're gonna send Musashi and Narsha over there to kill those. That'll be what they do. Like I've already mentioned, various assorted smoked meat logs. Giggity. That's, you know, that's my preference. Again, not like not really a big salad person. Soups I'm good with in the winter. Summer, obviously not something you wanna. I mean, and I spend summers in the south, so it's like you don't want to put something that's, you know, molten liquid in your mouth. That's just a recipe for disaster. Haha, get it? Recipe. Ha! Didn't even see that one coming. What are you doing? You're pissing me off is what you're doing. Oh, you can poison! Oh, that's fan-bloody-tastic, isn't it? And now I can't... Now I won't be able to catch up. Perfect. Alright, so I gotta cure the poison. But now I don't need to worry about May getting over-leveled, because she can't move anywhere at this point. Alright, yeah, I know, he took damage from the poison. Alright. Don't want to kill you. I'll attack you and see if I can actually hit you. Nope! It's not gonna do crap for damage. But yeah, I mean, food. Go, talk. Post comments. Talk about some food. I want to know what the world is eating. Hey, we could use an antidote. About bloody time. We've had that thing since, like, I think, the third battle. Alright. And we're almost done with this episode. Don't poison her. Don't poison him. There you go. Alright, we are going to... We're gonna attack and kill you. 20... Okay, I don't need to worry about that. He can one-shot them. Like, he can one-shot them bad. I was gonna say, I'll have Narsha do some damage, but that's not gonna happen. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here, because again, 20 minutes in. But again, what are you guys eating? Talk about it. Food. I could just be hungry. So I'm gonna go get some food, and I will see you guys in the next installment. So till then, later everyone.